Shakespeare is getting a modern twist on Broadway. Fat Ham, that's the name of the play, reimagines Hamlet through a Black, Southern, and LGBTQ lens. The Pulitzer Prize-winning play officially opened on Broadway earlier this month. Kevin Leon Smith is with us now. He stars in Fat Ham. He plays Larry. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's so great to have you. So people understand, this play is inspired by Hamlet, but it's very different in its setting and the way that it tells the story. Describe that for us.
I mean, it's extremely comedic, just like right off the bat.
Right.
And there's allusions in it that are both comical and really help tell the story and move it forward. We're also an entire Black cast. And the overarching umbrella is very queer-centric, it's very Black-centric, and it takes place in a barbecue in present-day Southern America.
That's the part that I love. It's a Black part.
It ain't a barbecue.
It's a cookout.
It's a cookout. Get the terminology right.
That's right.
So listen, obviously you have a lot of similarities with your character, right?
Yeah.
You're both Black, you're both from the South, you're both part of the LGBTQ community. Yeah. And I kept on kind of going back and forth as to whether or not playing a character with so many similarities is cathartic and easy or hard to go through those emotions night after night after night?
You know what, that's a really good question. When we were at the Public, it was more difficult, actually, I think, because I had never played a character that was so similar to my own experience, both of us being Black, queer, from the South, being raised in a religious family. It was so difficult at some points because my character does get outed, and it happens night after night after night. And sometimes the reactions from the audience members would be kind of shocking in that they would be excited that I was being outed, or there would be laughter in certain moments that felt very vulnerable. But, you know, I'm in therapy and, and I do a lot of self-help and working on my mental health. And the gap between when we closed off Broadway and when we opened up on Broadway, I had done enough work to then step back into the role and put a more of a cathartic space between myself and the character. So now when I perform it, I have more of an idea that everyone is coming into the theater with their own given circumstances and their own understanding of the LGBT community, and seeing two Black men on stage being soft with one another and intimate in this way can be jarring, and it's not an experience that everyone has. Yeah. So now I look at it as when those people who are laughing or shocked or surprised, they're actually the perfect audience member to have, because ultimately what I just want to do as an artist is to expand people's capacity to empathize, and that's my job.
I love it.
So you talked about the fact that what makes this role intriguing for you is you are Black, you are LGBTQ, and you are also from the South. But talk to me about your own personal experiences and how your family reacted when you came out.
When I came out, you know, I have to say my mom, I have seen such growth in her love and acceptance, not just for me, but for the LGBTQ community at large. And it makes me so happy. I actually received 2 days, but that doesn't mean that the hardships in regards to family doesn't continue. 2 days before 2 days after opening, I received a letter from my grandmother. It was an 8-page, single-space typed letter, just explaining why I was bound to go to hell because of my quote-unquote lifestyle. Yeah, it doesn't. It's difficult.
So it's like you're open. This is your first. This is the first time you've performed on Broadway, which is a momentous achievement in any performer's life, any actor's life. And yet, while you should be experiencing that joy, you get this letter from your grandmother. How did you reconcile those two competing emotions?
Well, I decided that ultimately what I have to do is make sure that I'm keeping my own peace. So we no longer speak. And there are several other family members that I also will not be speaking to as well. But I have to say it was also ultimately a gift. It took about 24 hours for me to kind of navigate those emotions that I was feeling receiving the letter. But it kind of just charged and inspired me to just be a better storyteller and to continue to telling the story, because it is my truth. It is what I believe to be good and to be pure. And that's what I'm meant to do. And I can't let other people's religious dogma and theology, because there are Christians who don't believe in the Bible in such a I want to say literal, but in just her specific interpretation, all Christians don't believe that, and I know that to be true. And so I just follow my heart and
listen. There are going to be other young people in your situation, other young people who come from a Christian background who love the church, who sing in the church.
But also,
you know what I mean? What advice would you give them?
You know, your faith is your faith, and I'm not here to tell anybody, like, I'm no longer a Christian, but I would never tell anybody to stop believing what their beliefs are. But I do hope that they are living in a faith that they believe honors them and who they are. And if not, you know, just like anything, find and do what you need to do to find your peace. Like my mom tells me all the time, you have to live your life, Calvin. And it's true.
Well, you are living your life.
Yes. It's turning out pretty good,
What an
actually.
amazing life it is. Yes.
Calvin Leon Smith, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you.